Iran's barrage of ballistic missiles, nearly all shot down by Israeli and American air defenses, will not go unanswered. As U.S. and Israeli officials tell NBC News, Israel is preparing a swift response. At the United Nations, Israel's ambassador outlined what may be coming.
The consequences Iran will face for their actions will be far greater than they could ever have imagined.
President Biden said he would not support an attack on Iran's nuclear sites.
They have a right to respond, but they should respond in proportion.
Overnight, Vice President Harris expressing her support for Israel, saying that there will absolutely not be a need for American troops to go into combat.
It is in American interest to make sure that we take seriously the threat Iran that it poses.
The administration is pushing to prevent a regional war, but Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he is already in one. We are in the middle of a tough war against Iran's axis of evil, which seeks to destroy us, he said. In Tel Aviv overnight, a new attack. This time, drones from the Houthis, a Yemeni militia supported by Iran. It caused no deaths and little damage, and appears to be retaliation after Israel sent fighter jets more than 1,000 miles to attack the Houthi-run port city of Hodeidah in Yemen earlier this week, in what a former Israeli prime minister described as a possible trial run for a strike on Iran. And in Beirut overnight, Israel carried out more airstrikes, killing at least 9, according to health officials. Israel also has troops fighting in Lebanon against Hezbollah.
Israel's war here in Lebanon is escalating. After initially holding back, apparently to assess Israel's strength, Hezbollah is now engaging Israeli troops directly in close combat as towns and cities are emptying out.
Israel announced the loss of 8 soldiers in Lebanon. Hezbollah promises there will be more.
So this is kind of a powder keg, Richard. What do we expect to happen during the next coming days?
Well, I think over the next coming days, it is very likely we could see that Israeli response. And a lot of people are looking at the calendar, looking at the Jewish holidays. There are 2 Jewish holidays in this period, and the time in between them, which is this weekend through next week, is a particularly sensitive time to watch what happens here in the Middle East.